Green Bay is running.
Bobby, sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Fins Talk today on the Fins Talk Sports Network. Fins Talk today, the best Dolphin show on the weekend. That's the one and only Fish Tank Hank. I'm Bobby Fins Talk. My goodness, we got a fun show, an amazing show, and can't wait till tomorrow. The Miami Dolphins take on the Buffalo Bills to go for 4-0. Fish Tank, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing great. When the team's doing good, I'm doing good. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And not to rub it in anybody's face, but let me rub it in everybody's face. I said they'd be 3-0 at this point, and they are 3-0. And it's time to take on the Billy Goats.
Well, let me just say something very quick, because this is where I'm going to tell you you're going to be right. And you could rub it in people's faces next week. Because I'm going to tell, I don't want to spoil the ending, but I probably am here. But I want to say, I think we all had it, and by the predictions, we had it 3-0. And I had it 3-1 after tomorrow. That's the beginning. You have it 4-0 after tomorrow. That's at the beginning of the year. Next week, you're going to be right. After tomorrow, you're going to be right. Because I am changing my prediction after the way these Dolphins have been playing. My official prediction.
What?
Yes, I cannot wait to talk about how
you're doing what?
Changing the prediction from the earlier the year. We go week to week. We go week to week. There no way, unless the Dolphins beat themselves, there's no way they're losing to Buffalo. There ain't no way. And I know what you guys were talking on bandwagon last night. You had bandwagon last night, not Thursday night. You had it last night. But I think Evan made this point last night, and he was saying, talking about the second defense in the NFL, which is Buffalo, the Buffalo Bills. All respect, right? Yeah, we know we're not taking nothing away from them. But the Broncos were the 8th best defense on the ranking. And what did the Miami Dolphins do to their defense? So that's all I'm saying. But before we get into all that, Fish Tank, I know you talked about this yesterday. Let me just say good morning, good afternoon to everyone tuning in. You got Rob of DolphinsThirsty.com. If you're thirsty for Dolphins content, go check out Rob. Chris is in the house, always here. Awesome to see her. Ray Finkel in the house. Everyone tuning in, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Ender was early. Of course, Finn's Table Talk. That's the one and only Fish Tank Hank.
Fins up, Finkel.
But Fish Tank, my man. So you were at the game live. I know you talked about some of that yesterday. What I want to know, though, watching that game live, how was the energy at The Rock?
Oh, it was incredible. It was incredible. There was somebody, there was some Bronco fans that were a little mouthy before the game, but that went away real quick. That was fun because they all got quiet and then they started to disappear.
They couldn't take it. They were done.
But, we had people from all over the world that we met up, people that we knew from Twitter, and we all met up. And you had people from UK, Britain, Canada. I mean, you had some people coming all the way from California that came over. There was Tanya and her 2 friends, Chris and Yanni. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun, and we had 4 days of partying, and the game was just unbelievable. And then I left at the 4th quarter because I was like, this is ridiculous. And I went to my car to party. So that's what I was doing. I was in the parking lot partying, listening to the crowd cheer. And we were all watching it on this one guy's phone. So we knew what was going on still. It's just, we wanted to party. We knew the game. We knew the game was, in the bag.
In the books.
You know, it was basically in the books, but we didn't know they were going to push out 2 more touchdowns after we left. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, now they're going to bring in the backups and, you know, nothing's really going to happen. No big deal. That's when I told my wife, let's get out of here. Let's go have some fun.
Good morning, Steve, host of Real Talk Fit Stuff. Steve Malloy in the house. No, I don't blame you. But let me ask you this. Here's a question then to follow up with that, because you're like, I didn't know they scored too much touchdowns. Are you going to leave again when they play the Giants?
When they play tonight?
No, because Buffalo, they're in Buffalo on Sunday. I'm saying when they play Carolina and the Giants, are you going to leave if they're up? Or are you going to say, let me wait this out because they might score a couple more times here?
No, I'm one of those type of people where, you know, if it's a 3-point game, it's still a game. You know what I mean? If it's a 3-point game, it's still a game. It was not a game.
It was not a game.
Point.
No,
it wasn't a game at that point.
It wasn't fair at that point. I don't know what happened to Denver. We both had Miami winning, but I thought it was going to be a closer game because you think about, and that's why I was telling people when people go, 70 points, and people were trying to downplay it, and they were saying, it's only the Broncos. The Broncos suck. First of all, Russell Wilson, Sean Payton, and it's an NFL team. It's an NFL team with the eighth best defense before last week, the 8th best defense in the NFL. Our Miami Dolphins, and I'm talking about the fans who are watching, that our Miami Dolphins did that to an NFL team. No team has ever done that since 1966 or whatever it has been. Our team done that. And you think about the greatest offenses in NFL history, and I've said this before, you think of Pat Mahomes with Tyreek Hill that won a championship. You think of the greatest show on turf with Kurt Warner and Marshall Faulk and so forth. Or Tom Brady and Randy Moss that went undefeated in the regular season but lost to the stinking Giants. You think about all those offenses that scored at will. And, you know, remember, Randy Moss and Tom Brady, they used to run it up on us. But no team ever scored 70 points. Our Miami Dolphins scored 70 points, and they could have scored more, but they decided to take it easy. So, you know, if you're a Dolphins fan and you're not excited and you're looking for a reason not to be excited, you have something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If you can't get out of the hate zone and finally start cheering for your team, I mean, come on. They're killing it. You know, this whole Buffalo game is a joke, man. You know, we have all these Buffalo Bills fans, you know, while we were rebuilding, they've been beating us. And I tell them, yeah, you beat us. Yup, you sure did. Wow, you beat a tough team there. I said, wow, you're great. 9-2. Wow, that's great. But we're in the here and now. And the here and now says we're going to whoop that butt and stomp some butt in the mud.
And who could disagree? I mean, unless you're a Buffalo Bills fan right now, and and we're going to talk about cause to pause in a minute, Fish Tank, or in the middle part of the show, and that's just we're going to look over the schedule and we're going to blank, just go for it as we're going here. But unless you're a Buffalo Bills fan, why would you not choose the Dolphins to win on Sunday? You know, if it was a closer game last week, Orlando in the house. Good to see you, my man. If it was a closer game last Sunday, okay, maybe you could go. Maybe you could justify saying, I just don't think Dolphins. Maybe Dolphins just slip up now. But the way they performed last week, from start to finish, and we talk about the Miami Dolphins theme song, which we have a fun version at the top of our show, Fish Tank. But in the air and on the ground and always in control, that was the Dolphins last Sunday, through the air and on the ground, through the air with Tyreek and not even Waddle, with Tyreek and Barrios and company, with Chosen at the end, which was awesome.
Hey, I gotta point this out for Junior, my son.
Evan. Oh, go for it.
You know, because Sanders was 7 for 7.
Yes, he was. He broke the record too. I heard that. He was like, "You think Sanders would have an impact?" He said that yesterday. They did that to me last week, and I said, "What other impact do you want him to do?" He was 7 of 7. He scored up to 10 points. My God, I don't know what happened, what Sanders did to him, But where was I? But for the Dolphins, Fish Tank, and I know you guys touched on it because I told him yesterday. I told him last week, and I said, man, that has to be the title for Bandwagon. Was that the talent of Waddle and Hill, or excuse me, the talent of Achane and Mostert, especially after last week, is equal to the talent of Waddle and Hill. Think about that, Fish Tank, for a minute. And I know it's easy for you to think that because you get all excited and you get hyped up. But think about this. Waddle.
Wait a minute.
Hold on. Waddle and Hill. Hold on. Waddle and Hill. Achane and Mostert. The way Achane and Mostert ran last week, you add that with those two guys against the Buffalo Bills and any team. The Dolphins theme song isn't just a fight song that people go, what are they talking about? It's not real. They can't, all they do is pass. No, we do it through the air and we do it through the ground. And when you're talking about Miami Dolphins, Fish Tank, what are you talking about?
Number one.
And the
Super Bowl.
If they follow this formula, that becomes a reality.
But okay, that becomes reality. Well, let's talk about your realism now, all right?
Sure.
Because I gotta dog you because you're changing your thing. I'm the one that said 15-2 at the beginning of the season. And everybody scoffed at me, right?
No.
And I said, all right. We lost Ramsey. I'm going to make it 13. So I made my final 13.
Mm-hmm.
I still think that I'm going to be right, and they might get 15. But, I'm going to hold where I said, because I made my prediction. When I make my prediction at the beginning of the year, it has to stand for something. So I'm staying with my 13, even though they might get that 15 I talked about earlier.
Well, see, you're confusing it for a second. First off, every year before the season starts, Fish Tank, you and I make predictions on the season. We look at the schedule and we say this is going to be our prediction for the record. And then week to week on our Fins Talk Today for 3 years now, I think so, is that we make our predictions based on how the season's going. We make our weekly predictions.
On whether the team wins or loses.
Exactly. So what I'm saying now at the beginning of the year, when we were making our predictions game to game, we had Big E on here and we made our 3 and we were 3-0.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. And in the Buffalo game, you did say, no, I believe we're going to take Buffalo this game. You said at the end of the year, it's a tie or a loss at the end of the year. That's how it kind of finished out. And I said, I think we're going to lose this game in Buffalo and we're going to go on and win at the end against Buffalo. But
that is correct.
Based off weekly, go ahead.
You're changing that and saying that you think we're going to beat Buffalo.
Based off what we do every year and based off because of what Miami did last week. How could you not pick Miami?
You're not reeling back in your prediction.
Well, my predictions. It's again, you make your start of the season prediction. And then you make your weekly predictions based off. Why would I? Okay, if Miami scored 70 points last week, which they did, which is unheard of. What in the right mind would I be to pick Buffalo to win tomorrow? I guess if I want to play devil's advocate, if I could play devil's advocate, I would say, okay, they got the second best defense in the NFL, ranked. They're coming along. They've won 2 straight. They're playing in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I could play devil's advocate if you want me to.
I could play devil's advocate the other way for that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could sit there and say, yeah, but it's 70 degrees and sunny, first of all. So it doesn't matter where it's at.
But you see what I'm saying, though? Yes, you make at the start of the season, everybody goes, okay, the Dolphins are going to do this, and this.
What was your prediction? Mine was 13. What was yours?
I was 11 wins, whatever 11 wins, 11-6. Yeah.
All right, I was just curious.
You're all good. All right, so 10 for 10. We need to be able to run the ball and keep Allen on the sideline. Yeah, we're going to talk about keys on how to stop the Buffalo Bills. But Fish Tank, let me just ask this, though, because we were touching on that a little bit.
Fins up, TJ.
TJ in the house, Troy, Ray Finkel, Rob in control. You're damn right. Well, yeah. Okay. The perfect formula. That's what I want to talk about. Running the ball, passing the ball, defense, controlling the game for the opposing offense. And again, they did against Russell Wilson and Sean Payton. They made him. I mean, they're talking about firing the damn guy already. So right now, honestly, Fish Tank, do you think the Dolphins have? This is the way I say it. Do you think they have the perfect formula to keep this going, or do you say no? Wait, they don't have the perfect formula yet. They need this to go through before we could say they have everything in sync.
They need more balance still. They need more balance on defense, which is surprising, but our defense, hasn't done a lot. I mean, we held somebody to 20 points, but our defense hasn't really been married with our offense. Our offense has just been knocking the snot out of people, and our defense have been letting points go by. So I think we need to be more balanced with our defense if we are going to go further. I just think we need that.
That's fair. And let me ask you this. So after last week, okay, with that win, and we'll move on to Buffalo, but just with the Broncos, were the Broncos that bad or were the Dolphins that good?
It was a combination of bad and good, but I mean, the Dolphins were that good on that Sunday. It's that simple. They were that good. And the Broncos, they just stunk it up. So, I mean, come on. You don't let somebody put 70 on you, for crying out loud. That's crazy. But I have seen a high score. Dan Marino's last game was a high score. 66 he lost by. It was 66 to something. I don't remember what we scored, but I know he had 66 points against them with something like 6 interceptions. So, I don't know. The Broncos are not looking good. You know what I mean? They're not looking good. So you're asking me kind of a double-ended sword on this one, but I'd say a combination of both, Bobby, because I can't really pick one or the other. But the Dolphins were that good, and
no, I think you're right. I think it's fair. I think you're fair.
What's scary about it is a lot of people, this is the type of offense I thought we were going to have last year, and now it's blowing up, this year finally. But we still need to, again. I can't believe I'm saying it at this point in the season. Our defense has got to come alive, especially against Buffalo. So,
but you know what? You're right? I mean, it goes for both, because for a team to score 70 points, you have to be good, and for a team to allow 70 points thrown on them, you have to be bad.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, it's like
gotta be.
So totally cool. I'm down with that. So let's do this very quick, because talking about this football team, the Dolphins, the way they're playing, the way they're doing it this year so far, and it is only 3 weeks. We get that, Fish Tank. We're going on our 4th week. It's an early season thing. Knock on wood. Things go wrong all the time, blah, blah, blah. But right now, it's looking like, man, this is going to be a fun year for Miami if everything stays the way it's going. So, but what I want to do, and this is not predictions or anything like this. What this is called, I did this on East 10th Street Boys, and it was kind of a fun game. And I said, man, I would love to do this with Fish Tank, because I would like to see how it kind of goes. And it's called Cause to Pause. So my thought process is that with the Dolphins right now, okay, and that's barring injuries or anything else, that really the way the team is playing, that the only way, like there are some teams that you could probably look at and you go, okay, maybe this team, maybe that team, it might be a tougher game. But other games, you think about the Panthers, you think about the Giants, you think about the Jets or whatever, and you go, man, the only way Miami loses that game is if they beat themselves. If somehow, some way they mess this up, that's the only way they lose. It's not that the team beats us, it's that we beat themselves. So what I'm going to do, I want to go over not the Buffalo game, because we're going to touch on that, and I think I know we are both going that way. But after that game, I'm going to read off the team's names, and then I want you just to tell me. And I mean, cause to pause is just any little pause that it has to make you go. It's like, oh, cause to pause. And it's like that. If you but just win, lose, you go, we got that, Bobby. If I read the team, we got that. You think they're going to win, you're not even going to question it. The other one, cause means just like if I say the team and you go, well, okay, that one's gonna be a little, then it's like, okay, that's cause. You don't have to explain it, nothing. It's what it is. All right. It was an interesting little experiment I did with Alex, and it was fun, So we're not gonna do Buffalo, but next week we got the Giants,
Beat them.
Carolina,
Beat them.
Philadelphia.
Whoa. Cause to pause right there. That's the one
Yeah.
game that I've been thinking we're going to lose. So,
and that's gonna be, think about how fun. I'm so excited for that. That's gonna be a fun game against two Super Bowl contenders at that point. I mean, that's the measuring stick, right? This game tomorrow is a measuring stick, but the Philly versus Miami game,
that's the real measuring stick.
yeah, I'm with you.
Allen has a tendency to give up the ball, and we're going to have a tendency to run it down their throat, being they suck at stopping the run right now. Oh, did I say that out loud? Oh,
You did.
sorry.
You did. That's okay. All right. So, and then we got the Patriots.
Yeah, that's a done deal.
All right. Kansas City.
Well, that's a done deal.
Ooh, I like that. Okay. Las Vegas.
That's a done deal.
The Jets.
I don't know.
Wow.
Toss to pause.
Yeah.
They have
Talk to me, Fish Tank.
They have a great defense still. They have a top 3 defense. I can't discount the Jets yet. Even though they're dying and squabbling and flopping around on the deck and, jet fuel's leaking everywhere and it's about to spark
I
up.
love it.
Those things are about to happen to them and they're about to burn up in flames. But if they get a quarterback, somebody in there that can do something, they might have a chance to save some of their season. But I don't think that they're going to be able to get somebody in there that can really make that much of a difference. There really isn't anybody available.
Well, you know what? It's a division game, so those are always tough, and that's a great point, Fish Tank. Let me ask you this. And I want to touch back because say cause to pause for the Jets, but not for the Chiefs. Why do you think there's no cause to pause with the Chiefs, if you don't mind me asking you?
Because their defense just can't stop our offense, period.
Okay.
Their defense isn't strong enough, in my opinion. Their secondary isn't good enough. I mean, is their run stoppability all that? Not from what I know. I mean, they're okay, but our offense is very dynamic. So I just think we have them beat on that. And in addition to that, I think our defense can contain and cause turnovers by Mahomes because he likes to be flashy and cool guy. And when he starts to do that, Vic Fangio's defense is going to capitalize. So I just think we have them beat on both offense and defense. Special teams, that's a coin tosser. So
fair enough. I love it, Fish Tank. I love it. Hey, I love it, man. Okay, so the Commanders.
That's a win.
Okay. Titans.
That was the other game I wasn't sure about.
Cause to pause, really?
Yeah.
Hit me up. Let me know.
We're decent against the run. Decent. Because we did get ran all over.
Oh, that's fair, man. Okay.
So, and they have Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
And they can, they have one hell of a run game. So, and you combine that with a little pass here and there, they might be up. Their defense matches up. I mean, their offense matches up good against our defense, in my opinion. That front line against our defense, I think they can still create holes for Henry. And if they aren't created, Henry's going to go through there breaking somebody's arm trying to grab them. So.
Damn. No, I love it. That's fair, man. We got the Jets again, that would be the second Jets game.
No, we got that one.
Okay. The Cowboys.
Nope, we got it.
Baltimore. Cause to pause.
Cause to pause. Baltimore
Gotcha.
Game, that's an away game. It's not easy beating Baltimore at home. that was a game from the beginning of the year that I picked, even when I was 15-2. That was still a game that I thought that Miami was going to drop. So I still think they're going to drop that one.
Okay. And then last but not least, we finish in Miami against Buffalo.
We're winning that one.
All right. So there you go. So you have the Philadelphia Eagles, the Jets, and the Tennessee Titans with Baltimore. You got those as cause. It's not a prediction. It's cause to pause.
That's
where
right.
you got you could say, oh, that we got that one. That's you could predict that. But the other ones are just, hey man, no, that I have to think about. That one I got to measure what's up, because Miami, even though they're so talented, this team might actually catch them. So
Absolutely.
I love it. And Troy says, good point, Tank. I agree. Yeah, Ghost is being extra today.
Hey,
Ghost
I
wasn't
made a good point, Bobby. Did you see that?
You made excellent points. I'm with you 100%. I mean, you're on fire. My goodness, we got to have bandwagon on Fridays. I think it gets you fired up. You're hitting on all cylinders. All right, listen, Shank, tomorrow, Dolphins look to go 4-0, look to go 2 games over Buffalo in the AFC East. I mean, this is the first that, the Dolphins have one of the tough, quote unquote, before the season started, one of the toughest schedules of the NFL. But so far, start off 3-0. And we did start off 3-0 last year, but this is a different 3-0. This is a legit 3-0. I mean, because Miami, we had questions after week 1 to win. You go, man, that defense, what happened to the running game? They answered in week 2. The passing game kind of took a step back. The running game and the defense stood up in week 2 and won that game against the Patriots. Then week 3, it was firing on all cylinders. Running game, passing game, defense. We go into week 4 against the first measuring stick of the season against a team that in Buffalo has beaten us. They beat us twice last year in the wild card and at the before that in the regular season, and we beat them in Miami. But in Buffalo, we're 0-2 last year. Okay, so it's the first measuring stick of the season. Let me ask you, Fish Tank, what are your 3 keys to secure a Dolphins victory tomorrow?
Well, we all know you have to contain Allen and force turnovers. That's the first key. That's an easy one. Everybody knows that. The second key is our secondary. Our secondary has to be better than it's been, to be totally honest with you. And, that secondary is only going to do as well as we do stopping the run. So my second one would be stopping the run. We've got to stop the run on them. We can't just let them run all over on us, because we'll have problems if they do. So that's 2. My third is Miami's offense has got to continue to have that gel, to continue to have that uniform, ability to go together and compete. And if they keep doing they don't have to be scoring 70 points, no, but they're averaging 43.3, So I would say Miami would have to continue on its offensive, juggernaut, continue on its juggernaut system. And that comes with a balance between pass and run game. And I think 2 is the key to all of it. So my third key would be how well Tua does. Tua has got to burn up their secondary and show them when they start trying to stop the run to burn them, and vice versa. When they start playing around with the pass game, fine. Let's change over to running it. I think Miami really has this game in the bag, and it's going to be one of the harder games, though. It really is. It's not going to be a simple pushover game unless we just take the ball away and Josh Allen is just dumping it everywhere. It's the only way I see a blowout, is if Josh Allen's just getting rid of the ball to us. I hope it happens, but
no, all fair. For me, first one is shut down Diggs, force Allen to go elsewhere. That's my first one. I mean, Diggs has been doing really well this season for the Buffalo Bills. I think if you shut him down as best you could, force Allen to go elsewhere, that might force Allen to make mistakes. You got to rattle him. Our pass rush needs to get to Allen, force him. Yeah, I think somebody said keep him in the pocket. Evan, let me just read Evans. Keep Allen in the pocket. Keep Tua clean and run. So, yeah, keep Allen in the pocket, force him to make mistakes, rattle him. Hit him hard, hit him fast, force him to make mistakes, but keep him away from Diggs. And then the third is continuing to pour it on. Keep that balance on offense. Run and pass. Score fast, score often for Miami. Don't allow Buffalo to stay in the game.
Yeah.
End it early. We
were pretty close.
Absolutely. Yeah. We've been on a roll. I mean, everything you're saying here, key injuries. Just we'll know more tomorrow who's in, who's out on the pregame show. But Bill's safety, Jordan Poyer, is out. That's huge for Miami's offense. Huge loss for Buffalo's defense.
Yeah, because Buffalo likes to drop the two deep safety. Yeah, and they try to drop the two deep safety on Miami now.
Can't do it.
Oh, you got somebody out there that's not quite that good.
and this would be a bigger loss despite what our colleague Brett Legassi would say. But this probably would have been a bigger loss. And I'll tell you why I'm not too concerned with it. Jalen Phillips is out tomorrow. And, we're both high on Jalen Phillips. You had him as Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah. But, I'm okay with him missing out tomorrow. We're going to miss him for sure, right? We have high expectations for him this season. But the way this Andrew Van Ginkel has been playing, Agba played last week. Agba, he was one of my studs last week, Fish Tank. An interception, a sack, a batted ball that turned into the interception. I mean, my goodness. Agba's finally resurfacing, resurrecting his career before our eyes. Andrew Van Ginkel, Evan knows this, this, that we were talking about. I talked to you about it when Van Ginkel was not supposed to come back to Miami. He was a free agent. He was looking at other options. When he resigned, we talked about it. I said, man, he resigned for a reason. Fangio has big plans for him, and look what Van Ginkel's doing. He's probably the most impactful player on our defense right now. So Phillips missing out tomorrow, it's a loss, but we have Van Ginkel, we have Agba, Bradley Chubb is starting to step up, which is awesome to see. Jalen Phillips can take a game off tomorrow. Win, lose, or draw, we're going to be fine throughout the season, but let him take the week off, let him heal up, and then let's hope that him coming back is going to put this defense from 23rd, which, again, we know it's coming up. It's rising up. 23rd to that top 10 that we were talking about before the season. Ralph's in the house. Hello, Fish Tank, Bobby, Thirsty, Steve, Evan, and the rest of you.
Ralphie.
It's a great time to be a Fins fan. Don't forget to subscribe. Yes, thank you. Like and subscribe. We appreciate it. Contain that show. Run, defend, and contain Josh. That's Ralph's keys. Now, Fish Tank
says don't sleep on Wilkins either.
Don't sleep on Wilkins about stopping that run. We're talking about but you talked about stopping the run against Buffalo. Wilkins is one of the better run stoppers in the NFL. Yep. So let's hope he has a big game tomorrow.
Him and Sealer, the dynamic duo in the middle better do something.
Make sure I have it here. Okay, perfect. All right, let me just go around the league before we make our predictions, Fish Tank, if you don't mind. Talk about some of these quote-unquote experts, what they have it going tomorrow, okay? Buffalo's 2-1. Miami is 3-0 on the season. If Miami wins, they take a two-game lead over Buffalo as the AFC East leaders. If Buffalo wins, Buffalo takes first place, but obviously it's tied. But they would, by I don't know, tiebreaker.
By beating us, they get the tiebreaker, even though they lost to the Jets.
Yeah. So the Lorenzo Reyes of USA Today has Buffalo winning 27-23. Vinny Iyer of Sporting News has Buffalo winning 30-27. Brad Gagnon, Bleacher Report, has the Bills winning. He doesn't have a score. John Breach of CBS Sports, Bills winning 34-31. Ali Bonpori of NFL.com has the Dolphins winning 28-26.
Well, Bill at least somebody has a brain in their head.
Jeez,
go to the next one.
Yeah, Bill. Yeah, we got two more. Bill Bender of Sporting News has Buffalo winning 34-31, and Pete Prisco CBS Sports has Bills winning 28-23. Before we go into our predictions, Fish Tank.
Morons. Only one that really knew what the hell they were talking about was Allie.
2.5 game lead, Orlando. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Ali. Appreciate you. If you ever tune in, we appreciate that. He's the only one that had Miami winning out of those guys there. Interesting enough. Fish Tank.
Yes, sir.
Or I'll say Hank. What is the great Fish Tank Hank predict for tomorrow? What's the win? What's the prediction and what's the score?
There you go. I'm in my crystal baldy. 35-28 Miami Dolphins.
35-28
Miami Dolphins.
Okay, there you go. 35-28. I mean, that would be a fun score because that would be a fun game. That would be a game that keeps you at the edge of your seat going, come on, get it. I love that. Chris has it, Miami 35-14. Troy 24-20. Allen gets Van Ginkel. I love that Allen gets Van Ginkel. Orlando Marvin has it 34-21. And Orlando looks like it says 2.5 game lead, and Miami will have the tiebreaker. Aladino, 37-24 or worse, fins up. Ray, 38-17, Miami. And Hammer Time, 31-14. I have it. Dolphins over Buffalo. In Buffalo. 41-28. Miami over the Bills. 41-28, Fish Tank. I think I agree it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I think Miami gets a little higher tomorrow. I think they got to score fast and often, get a couple touchdowns ahead of Buffalo, and I think they will. And I think I love what Troy said. Allen will get Van Ginkel. We'll have a Van Ginkel big play tomorrow.
I think defense is going to make some big moves tomorrow. I'm really hoping they do. I just want to see something out of them to give me, that warm and fuzzy, and I haven't seen it yet.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're not satisfied just yet?
No, not with our defense. No, and tomorrow's an actual test.
Okay.
I can't say, them holding the Broncos to 20 points was a great deal. All right. That wasn't a great deal. Who else did we stop? The Patriots?
Okay.
And
I got you.
Did we stop the Chargers?
No.
And
the Chargers offense would be equal to Buffalo.
Exactly.
So, got you. I got you.
That's why I'm saying I need to see something more out of our defense this time around. Not that I can change anything or do anything. I just, want to see something more come out of it for them. I want to see them excel. And, so far, in my opinion, we haven't played that total balanced game yet on offense and defense yet. And the offense finally clicked for us. I was shocked with that 70 burger. I about fell over. So,
well, and that's the thing. I mean, since I've known, how many times have, used that, oh, we're going to score, and because you're hyped on this team last year, like you said, you thought this offense was going to be what it is right now. I mean, no one ever predicted 70 points. But again, somebody might say, oh, but it was against Denver. No, it was a legit 70 points against an NFL defense that was ranked 8th last year and 8th this year. Okay. Yep. And the Dolphins did that. Okay. Yep. They did that. Your team did that. So yes, you might have some games that you have cause to pause. And I think you're absolutely on point and absolutely fair with the defense and with saying, hey, look, no, think about, yes, in individual plays have been great. And you think about the overall, again, the end result, it's amazing. You go, hey, you know what? But you're right. Think about what they did against the Chargers. Think about it was against the Patriots, and you go against Denver. No, tomorrow's an actual test. What does our defense do against a top?
We're going against a high-powered offense that the guy has a cannon for an arm, and he can throw the ball all over the place. And we all know that. And if Miami wants to do something, they better get after him. And like Chris says, X better show up.
Fair enough. Let me just, again, Chad in the house, 13 points, not 20.
What's
Chad,
up, Chad?
Chris, Aladino, Troy, Ralph. Ralph has it 4-0. Dolphins 38-14. Ray Finkel, Hammer Time. Orlando, Evan, Finstanza, TJ, Rob, Steve, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in so much. Everyone who's watching, whether you're Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. If you haven't been on the channel yet, hit that like and subscribe button. Catch Fish Tank Hank every Saturday on Fitz Talk Today, 12 noon. And, of course, the bandwagon.
You know, we need to talk about something important before you sign us off here.
Yes, sir. Go for it.
You know, we hit 1K. You know, you and I started this gig up. You hit 1K. Did you have a giveaway?
We did not do a giveaway.
Mm.
Yeah, we did not do a giveaway. You got something in mind?
Yeah, I might have something in mind.
Okay. All right.
We might have to do something.
Absolutely. Yeah, we got it last week, and it was a what do you call it? Victory Monday for Dolphins, because we got 70 points and then we broke 1,000 subscribers, which is thanks to, of course, as I was saying last week, to all, everybody on the channel, of course, all the content providers, all the content creators, and everyone who tunes in every week. I mean, it's been a fun ride so far, and it's going to keep going. We have a lot of fun here on the channel. It's not just people who, it's actual friends. We get along. We have a blast. We have debates. We root for the same teams, and even for the people that don't root for our same teams, we have fun with them. It's a real cool vibe we got going on here. So to everyone who wasn't here last week for that celebration, thank you so much for everything you've done for the channel, just by tuning in and contributing by commenting on the show. Of course, Fish Tank wasn't on that post-game show. He was having fun. He was having a blast. But I mentioned you, Fish Tank, and I can't thank you enough. We were on. Hey,
how'd my pregame go?
Pregame was pretty good. Was pretty good.
I couldn't hear you guys. Did you know that? I couldn't hear you guys.
No, we didn't know that. No, but we heard you
clearly. I couldn't hear you guys at all, and that's why I said back to you. I was like, I can't hear what they're saying because everybody's yelling. There's a helicopter flying over, and music's bumping. I was like, I can't actually hear what they're saying to me. But all was good. All was good. We had a good. But hey, we hit 1K. You and I left the other network, and we came over. You started this up with me, and I think we should do something, whether it be a hat or something. It should be something we should give people, somebody somewhere. But I can talk with you later about that. You got it. That works. We'll talk. That's a good idea. We'll do some celebration for that. We'll do. Yeah, I want to include a man and a woman. Gotcha. Okay, so 2. Gotcha. All right. Well, guys, again, tomorrow, do not forget, start your Sunday off right with some our Miami Dolphins pregame show at 10:30. Evan Paz, Finstanza, myself, Brett Legassi in the house. And then, of course, after the game, our postgame show at 8 p.m. You catch Fish Tank on the bandwagon. You catch him that's usually on Thursday nights. It was on Friday yesterday because Evan couldn't do Thursday, but Friday nights. Next week will be normal as usual. But the week after, for the Carolina Panthers week, yes, we'll have live shows almost every day at the end of that week. You got Fish Tank Hank and Evan Pazner will be live together. I think that might be a Friday show. That'll be a Friday, yeah. Then Saturday, Fish Tank and I will do a live show. Sunday, live pregame at the stadium at Tailgate. Live postgame, working that out right now on a location. And, of course, a live East 10th Street Boys on Monday night at East 10th Street. So I am so excited. I can't wait. Well, I just think about this, Fish Tank. If the Dolphins get the job done tomorrow, and I don't want to overlook any team. But if the Dolphins get the job done tomorrow, there's a legit chance, Fish Tank, that we'll be 5-0 when you and I sit together. And we could be 6-0 by the time I come back to Tennessee. So think about that, Dolphin fans. So thank you so much for all tuning in. Hit that subscribe button. Well, like, subscribe, and most importantly, Fish Tank, as always, fins up. See you guys next week.